Well, we're live. We're back. It's Friday night. We're a bit later than scheduled because a couple of people couldn't make it. Obvious one, going to be Jerome. Again, I don't know what he's done. He's done something to his computer. I think his kids took his computer stuff. Put a lock on your door, mate.
Yeah.
It's simple as that.
Yeah.
And again, like I say, it's Friday night. What time is it now? It's 7:45 and we've got sod all else to do, Corey. On a
That's
Friday
right.
night.
I mean, how sad is that? How sad is that?
How sad is that?
Yeah.
I am literally freezing my nuts off, hence the coat.
What's wrong with your heating?
Mate, it's not quite that point yet where the wife would let me put the heating on.
Right, I get it.
But I'm allowed to freeze.
This is why they invented dressing gowns. So,
well, I don't think I'd look good in a dressing gown on live, to be fair, mate. It wouldn't be very good.
I would, but hey.
Well, why not? Why not? Right, well, let's get the party started. Man City tomorrow. Is it a 5:30 kickoff?
It is, yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I'm looking forward to this or not.
No, I never look forward to playing Man City.
It's at the Empty, didn't it? It was literally going to be called the Empty at this time.
Yeah, they can change it to that. No, it's yeah, like I said, I enjoy watching Man City play other teams. They do play great football, great passing football, a bit like us, in the sort of in Wenger's peak years. But when they play us, I don't know. It's like the last result was good, but before that, it was a few 3-0, it was a 3-1. They totally control the game. They, we rarely get any shots off, let alone goals.
Yeah.
But that's them in a good moments. Right now, they're not so good a moment.
No.
So we have to play them a couple times a year at least. This is probably the best time, I think.
It helps with them not having strikers, doesn't it, really? Let's face it.
Yeah.
Aguero is a big loss, and Jesus or Jesus is another one. He's a big loss to them as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for them to play the way they want to play, they need to have that focal point. They are fluid. They do move around a lot, but that striker just at the tip there just lets everybody know what they're supposed to be doing. It's fluid.
Yeah.
They can be as fluid as they want, but when they know that striker's there, then whether they're going to switch sides or drop down or whatnot, the striker is the ever present. Whereas now, if you're playing with a false nine, whether it's Sterling or Mahrez, they're going to have their natural instincts to sort of drift here and drift there and whatnot, and they're occasionally going to be stepping on each other's toes, and they're not going to be as dangerous in attack. So, with our defense improving as it has been, I'm not as pessimistic as I usually am about this fixture.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. It's one that I'm not overly so worried. I am worried, but I can see less goals going in than I can see more goals going in.
Yeah, which is
per se
what we want.
Yeah, even though we are getting better in defence, so I'm hoping it'll be minimalistic at best. So hopefully, fingers crossed. And another good thing, Man City haven't got De Bruyne, who always is our Achilles heel against Man City.
When I saw the news that he wasn't playing, because I hadn't kept up to date fully with internationals and whatnot. But
boring as hell out there, really.
Yeah. I don't like sort of bite-size 3-minute highlights on YouTube. They're fine, but I can't do.
It'd be better if they did a match of the day sort of version of these internationals, where you just get the best bits and then that'll do.
Yeah, it's like the World Cup. During the World Cup or the Euros, that at the end of the day they would have the sort of match of the day and they'll round up all the matches and stuff. That's doable. That's fine.
Yeah.
But
I'd be happy with that. But then again, I probably won't watch it anyway with it being friendly.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. We could having friendlies at a time like this. It's like what? Come
stupid.
on, we could have gone with we could have done without it.
Yeah, we could have done really. Let's face it.
Yeah, and now Man City are even more pissed because De Bruyne, their best player, got injured, and he's out. So
I'm happy.
Yeah, my heart bleeds, but yeah, no,
I'm really happy about that.
But no, listen, when he's not in the team, come on, that's a big loss. Do you know what I mean? yeah, he's like a player that I just think is just like ridiculously good. When he's on form, then he's unstoppable. So not having to worry about him, that's a big plus for us. And then with them losing De Bruyne, we're actually gaining a new midfielder who we can talk about.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Where
You know what? It's going, yeah.
and you know what? I'm not going to do any party. You know, I'm not going to play on the word or anything like that. I'm not going to say it's party time, time
Well,
to party, nothing like that.
no.
Thomas has arrived.
The thing is, I was looking on Twitter before we joined up on here, and there's a little video going around a song for Thomas Partey coming in, and there's a few well-known Arsenal media things on there. I'm not going to say who because I don't know if I'll be allowed, in all fairness, but it's crap. Why would you do that? It's embarrassing, like proper full-time embarrassing, and the fact that someone's gone on there and made a video about Thomas Partey, and not only that, the song is absolutely shite. You're like, it's one of them ones where you think, oh, for fuck's sake, Arsenal fans again, what the fuck are you doing?
I know. We have to do it.
Yeah.
And it's like just cringe, and just giving Tottenham fans ammunition to take the piss.
It's not just Tottenham fans; it's every fan.
Yeah,
it's like
true,
seriously, you're just don't just please don't.
However, I'm very excited about his acquisition, and I think, fuck it, throw him in at the deep end. Man City.
It's got to start. Surely, it's got to start.
Yeah. I think he's going to start. Look,
yeah, I agree. I think he's going to start as well. And
yeah, he's coming. Like, I think when players come from the Spanish league and they come from a Champions League team and they come from a team that was managed by Diego Simeone, you're ready for whatever. Do you know what I mean? You're not a soft player. You're not mentally soft. You're not physically soft. You should be able to come from that team and drop into any team and handle the pressure and handle this kind of style of play as well.
Yeah.
So
I reckon so.
Yeah. So I think he'll start, and I'm quite confident that he'll do all right as well.
Yeah, and the fact that we only paid 50 million for him.
45 million, yeah, that was his release clause, yeah.
With his release clause, that's a bargain, surely. A player of his quality, you're talking upwards of 70, 80 mil, aren't you, surely?
Well, I don't know. I mean, what is he? He's like 27 years old?
It don't matter, really, the age
No, but it's just when you talking about sort of resale value and whatnot, him signing that contract at that age is, we're going to get the sort of best years out of him, yeah. But,
we've bought him in his prime, really, haven't we?
Yeah, exactly. So, if he stays with us, he stays like, 30, 31, that's fine. But we're not going to get any much resale value after that once he hits those ages. So
no, we're not. The resale value is probably going to be minimalistic for us, but bargain-wise to buy now, 45 million is a bargain. Like I was just saying, compare him to what we would have to pay for if we entered the release cost. You're talking upwards of 60, 70 million, surely, maybe even more.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a big reputation in Spain, and obviously we were very excited when we were linked with him in the first place, and then it sort of seemed like, is this realistic? He's in a Champions League team, but money talks. As much as 45 million, yeah, but I'm sure he's going to come in and be one of our sort of top earners. So
I think he will be. Yeah, obviously, without mentioning the O name, because I don't really want to get into that because I can't be asked with him, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm not interested in that one at all. Without that one in there, then yeah, he will be a top earner.
Yeah, times have changed now at Arsenal. I think there was a time when under the Wenger era, players weren't. Well, not. I say the early Wenger era. Players weren't on big wages. When we were at Highbury, we weren't generating that amount of money. So, players would have to come and they would come to sort of play Wenger ball and to play for a London team and whatnot. Whereas now, even though we're not in the Champions League, we still pay very well, and we're that type of draw now. Same sort of Man United. They pay over the odds a little bit.
Well, Young Bergkamp has made a good point here. Partey was half the price of Man U's fridge. And he did really well in internationals as well, though, didn't he?
Yeah,
I didn't
fantastic.
see it. I just saw it pop up on me because I got Sky Sports on me notifications on my phone. And it pops up. The fridge has been sent off. I was like, for God's sake, there's a surprise.
Yeah, I mean, he's having a great year, isn't it?
Well, yeah, he drags over his
Yeah.
own players, so yeah, he's having a brilliant.
Yeah, no, it's true though. No, look, but look, bottom line is, yeah, it was a good deal. I'm surprised we wait so long to pull the trigger on it. It's like 45 million release clause. I'm surprised we're the only team that actually did it. You know,
I'm shocked at that. Actually, to be fair, it just seems weird that we're the only team that decided to even go straight in for the release clause. It's really weird, but you know, it works out well for us.
Yeah, but that makes me believe that he specifically wanted to come to us.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like maybe some people contacted his agent, said, you know, what do you think? Teams could be in Italy, other teams in Spain. And he was like, no, I think he wants to go. Like I said, Arsenal is a big draw for a lot of players.
Yeah, I think the Premier League's a big draw as well, you know.
Premier League, like I said, we're a London club, one of the biggest London clubs. A lot of players from abroad would, if they're going to move to England, would like to move to London. We're known worldwide. We're still a big club, you know, regardless of, you know, where we finished in the league. So, and I think also that the players are already here, you know, that's an influence as well. So I think all those things factored in, and now we've got ourselves another world-class player.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree. And as we're doing the sort of formations, I am terrible at this tonight. Formation-wise, this is what I feel. We did have a chat about this just before we started about the team, the Man City team for tomorrow. Obviously, barring De Bruyne and the two strikers, I believe Aguero is back but not fully fit, so he's probably going to be bench rather than a starter. Would you see that as the team for tomorrow for Man City?
Yeah, I think so. Like a little question mark on Torres. You know, just in terms of if Gundogan is fit, then he could come in midfield and Foden could play on the right, because Pep does like to play him there, which is probably not really helping his development. I think, you know, I think with Pep sometimes he likes to move things around a bit too much, and then, you know, someone like Foden doesn't know, you know, what he's supposed to be doing. You know,
he's an attacking mid, and it's more essential to attacking mid rather than a winger. Yeah,
definitely. But he gets played on that right quite a bit, and a couple of times I've seen it work, but often not so much. But yeah, Bernardo Silva, I expect him to come. But again, he's somebody that could also play in place of Torres should he want to play Gundogan in midfield. So I think that those, you know, midfield and the right side are questionable, but everything else I agree with, just depending on, you know, if Laporta is fully fit. I mean, I'm looking at that defense. How much, including the goalkeeper, how much is that? How much did they spend on that defense?
Well, Laporte? Well, Diaz was 65 million.
Yeah.
Walker was a 50 million. Mendy, I think was he another 50?
I think it's about another 50.
Yeah, between 30 and 50. Edison, I can't remember how much he was, to be fair.
He wasn't cheap.
No, I don't think he was cheap, but he wasn't in the 70 mil mark. You're probably talking again another between 30 and 50, I would have thought.
Yeah.
And then Laporte, was he a 50, 60 million?
I think he was about that, because he was very highly thought of in Spain, so he wouldn't have come cheap.
So you've got a good 150 to 200 mil defence there, with including the keeper. It's a lot of money. Yeah,
and then you compare that to our defence and how much ours cost.
Well, we'll move on to that now.
Yeah.
There's our defence. Bellerin, about 250k.
Yep.
Leno, bargain.
22 million, something like that.
20, I think it was about 20. I thought it was like 25, 27, but it could be right at 22, to be honest. Gabriel, he was what, 23, and Tierney was 25.
Yeah.
Louise,
was that 7 or something like that?
10, I think. Yeah, in the end.
Was it 10? Was it really?
I think in the end, yeah. We always get them sort of 10 million cast-offs, don't we, from Chelsea?
Yeah, we do. But yeah, obviously, like, big difference.
Oh, huge difference.
Huge
difference. But in all fairness, there's not a golfing quality to me. I think there's two that probably aren't great, but they're doing well for us at the minute. In that's in Bellerin and Louise. Leno, he comes into his own. I don't give a shit what anyone says. He's one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League by far. So for me, still a bargain, and obviously Tierney is going to speak volumes. And Gabriel's only just started, so
He's
can't
just started,
really judge him at this moment in time. But I can't see us playing any other defence than that.
Well, as you know, what we spoke about before, you're going with 4 at the back, and I was questioning whether we're going to do that or go with 3 with the 2 wing backs, just because we've been getting some success with it, and we're playing Man City, and we might want to set up a bit more defensively. So that's the question mark I have on that team. And
my question into that is where do you fit Partey into that 2 midfield, because that double pivot, it's very defensive with Ceballos and Xhaka. I think to get Partey into the team, we need to release him a little bit, because he's not a sitting defender. He's not a sitting midfielder. He's, Manny mentioned it before to us, who was meant to be on tonight, but God knows where he is. He's probably fell asleep again. He is more of that. He wants to be moving around. He wants to be here, there, and everywhere. Is that player who can move around, is not a sitting defensive mid like everyone seems to believe.
He's not. I mean,
he can do the job.
He can, but the thing
we
is,
don't really particularly need him for that job.
Well, against Man City, we will, because they're going to have a lot. They're going to have a lot of the ball. He's going to be sitting deep for the majority of the match. So he's not going to be able to be as dynamic as he normally would.
Well, I think with the Ceballos and Xhaka in there, I think he's going to get that. The only reason why I've put, I'll move my mouse. The only reason why I've popped him there is because he's not. I can't get what I would say would be probably a flat 3 in midfield rather than a defensive midfielder. But with Ceballos and Xhaka, I can see them more pulling back towards and to free up Partey to do what he needs to do. I think that's my sort of thinking on that. Obviously I could be completely wrong here and Partey not even play.
Yeah,
what do I know?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, when he was at Atletico Madrid, he would often be played just in a 2-man midfield because Simeone likes 2 up front. So
he also had that. Is it Seoul or Seoul?
Yeah, he played.
And he's on another level compared to Xhaka and Ceballos. Let's face it.
It's true, but I think it was Partey. He was the reason why Simeone felt comfortable playing with 2 in the middle, more so than Saul. So, and I think what Arteta said about Partey is that he talked about he understands space, and he wasn't talking about astronomy. And Partey
is surprised at what people believe.
And Partey said also compared himself to being an octopus, where he's somebody that he likes. He puts himself about the pitch. He can do the job of 2 men. So, I think going forward, you're right. I think this would be us going forward. But I just think against City, we just know that we're not going to see a lot of the ball. We're going to be sitting back. We're going to want as much bodies back there as possible. Xhaka can obviously drop down into defense and make it 3 centre backs when called for, and then going forward he can sort of push up a little bit more. So that's a possibility as well. And Partey and Ceballos can stay a little bit higher. So
there are key elements really to work the ball forward, aren't there? Is Ceballos and Partey really, in my view. Because Ceballos does really well at moving from defence towards the other end of the pitch. He does that really well. He's that key person to move the ball forward for us at the moment. But I think with Partey as well, it's just going to help that moving it forward. It's hard to work out without knowing being in Arteta's head. It's hard to work out what he's thinking. But I do get where you're coming from with the 5 at the back. I was really thinking that myself. Do we do that 5 at the back and play Partey and either Ceballos or Xhaka next to him, or do we just bring Partey on it towards, give him a chance to work the game out? Is it too early for him to throw him in the deep end against City. Who knows? But I think if you're going to spend that much money on a player of his quality, you've got to put him in. And this is what we're saying.
I think he'll start. But also against Messi, I want Maitland-Niles in the team against City as well.
I would prefer Maitland-Niles on the right hand side. You know, he could probably do a job against Sterling, but I think he's got a thing for Bellerin. I don't know. There's something there that I think he's got that little, like, that nostalgia, like, oh, he's my mate. You know, he was in the team when I was in the team. He's got to play. You know, I just think there's that little thing for him. He's like a little soft spot.
I think he thinks the same thing. I think like Bellerin at one point looked so promising. You know, like he was going to go on and become, you know, the next Cafu. You know, because he was so good at such a young age before you know his injury and whatnot.
Cafu's a big.
Yeah, I know. All right,
we're not comparing by. I'm just letting everyone know.
No. I'm not saying he is, but he was so good as a youngster that in terms of his development, you felt like his ceiling was so high in terms of his potential. Yeah. So, and you felt like if he keeps playing and he keeps pushing and he keeps progressing at the rate that he is, then he could be one of the best ever, you know, at right back. But we know he got that injury. He lost a lot of pace, and he's never been the same since. But I still sort of hold out hope that he can get it back a bit, and you know, and maybe learn to adapt to the fact that he's lost a bit of pace and get around that and still hit that sort of near that potential that we thought he had before. So
we all hope that, but I think
it's not looking like it.
No, I think we all. I think as any Arsenal fan, we all want Bellerin to come back to how he used to be. You know, a season or two before he had that injury, because he did start to drop off a little bit, and then he obviously got the injury and he dropped off even more. But we all hope there that he does come back to that form that he had. But there's also that niggling feeling it's not going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's not looking. It's not. Sometimes you see glimpses of it. Sometimes, you know.
Yeah.
And again, that's what Arteta's seen. He's seen the glimpses, and you know. But just like, look, when we talk about Bellerin, and we talk about the rest of the squad, who really is playing to their potential at the moment? As like we're giving Arteta all the credit because we are getting results without anybody actually really excelling. We could talk about Gabriel, who's, you know, obviously he's new, but he's done well when he's played. We could talk about Tierney, who's sort of played at centre-back for most of the season. We got to really see him in his favourite positions, but he's done a good job. And Aubameyang hasn't got started yet. You know, we don't feel like we're really getting the best out of Lacazette. Willian had a good first game, but, you know, he's just been okay.
Yeah,
since.
He dropped off.
Ceballos, we're not seeing sort of the same player that we saw sort of the back end of last season just yet. Xhaka is like sort of steady Eddie, but no one's really excelling. So we can look at players and we can sort of point them out a bit. But honestly, no one's excelling. So maybe when everybody else does, so will Bellerin.
Maybe. You might have a good point.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
I mean,
yeah, to move on. Yeah. I think you've got a good point, actually, to be honest. And to move on, it's going to be them three up front in it, I reckon. I can't see Pepe being. I reckon he's going to be the danger man sub. Sub.
I mean, you want Willian there. He works hard. He'll track back. He'll protect Bellerin quite a bit. Who's going to have probably Sterling coming at him a lot. You know, that's what's going to happen. He's going to Sterling, every left back, he runs them ragged. So you're going to want Willian back there helping out with that. So that's 100%. Lacazette, we're going to need someone to work hard again. When we do get the ball up top, we need someone to hold it up and try and keep it up there for a bit. So I think that's 100% as well. Aubameyang, obviously, you know, that's I think that's 100% the front three.
Yeah,
it needs to be. There's nobody else really sort of pushing for a place to start against Manchester City.
No, they're in. Really,
but
not
coming
fun.
off the bench, you know, which might be important depending on what the score is later on. Someone like Pepe against tired City legs, because City do get tired. You know, all that passing and attacking. You know, they always take their foot off the gas for periods of the match, and they let the other team let the other team in, and then stuff's up to the other team to capitalize, like what Leicester City did
Yeah.
in the last match. And we obviously have to approach the match exactly like Leicester. We have similar players in terms of like pace. You know, we got Aubameyang, they had Vardy. We have to approach it the same way. We have to use our pace on the counter. When they are tired, we have to expose them, and we have to take our chances when they come.
Yeah, definitely agree, because they are pacey forwards. You know, Lacazette not so pacey as probably Willian and Aubameyang, but he does a completely different job to what he's doing. You know, he's not the paciest person, but he does hold the ball up well. So he's doing a slightly different job by bringing in the players, you know, so that it can release Aubameyang and Willian. So yeah, he's gonna have to do a job tomorrow, and same as Willian and Aubameyang. You know, they're gonna have to show up, and they're gonna have to do a job, and as well as the rest of them. Really, to be fair, they're all gonna have to show up and do a job. So
that's why I think that's why Partey is important as well, because I think when we do win, if we can win the ball in midfield, you know, we need someone who's dynamic that can carry it up the pitch quickly, you know, and release the forwards. So he might not be the one releasing them, but if he's the one winning it, and then we do have a Ceballos there as well that can carry the ball, then, you know, the counter attack is going to be very important. Even Xhaka, like if we do go with the team that you picked, he can spray a ball from distance. So that's going to be important.
Yeah, I just hope we don't go to that long ball that we've been doing lately. When Ceballos comes off the pitch, it always turns into long ball. So it's either David Luiz, or, you know, mostly David Luiz is oofing it forward, and it's just like, it's just coming straight back at you. Don't do that. Stop it. You're going to play out from the back. Stop hoofing it forward. It's not working.
Yeah, I don't actually hoofing unless you know there's a few minutes left and, you know, you're a goal down. You know, I think always try and play the ball. I mean, like you said, when Ceballos is on the pitch, we play the ball. Even so, I mean, we're still trying to sort of play out from the back, and there's still a few heart in mouth moments when we're doing that. So Arteta is definitely trying to get them to play sort of short passes from the back and build play. But yeah, like you said, sometimes David Luiz, because he has got that in his locker, you know.
Yeah. Well, he can oof the ball, can't he? Let's face it. He can oof it where he wants. But the problem is, by doing that, especially with a team against like City, it'll come to bite you in the ass. And that's the issue that is with that hoofing it forward.
Yeah, we want to sort of keep hold of the ball for as long as possible. We don't want to keep like hoofing it and giving it back to them. Yeah, because, you know, it just becomes a long day against City when, you know, he's just defending. You know,
it's not the situation we need to be in.
No, like I said, we just approached that match just like Leicester did.
Yeah,
and because look, come on, 5 goals, you know, and City couldn't do anything to stop them.
Yeah, 5-2 was it in the end?
It was 5-2. Yeah,
that'd be a nice scoreline.
Yeah, I think
I'd take that now.
Yeah, I think that's the direct football that all of the upsets from last time, you know, the football was all the same. It's like Aston Villa, they didn't piss about, you know, they went straight for Liverpool's jugular, you know, every time,
and they got it with interest.
And they looked so dangerous. Same with Leicester, you know, and same with Tottenham, you know.
Well, he was there for the taking. Take it.
Yeah, so hopefully whatever happened last time, you know, it carries on for these fixtures, and there'll be more upsets and, you know, more ridiculous
upsets, but not our upsets, not our costs.
No. I
hope we ditch some out.
just this week, because we're the underdogs. You know what I mean? Let's hope that carries on. That we're the underdog, surprises the big dog. And because we're due a big scoreline. Do you know what I mean? Like,
especially against a big 6 team.
Yeah, like Villa's getting 7. You know, small teams like Tottenham getting 6. You know, it's like, come on, can we get some of that? Can we
it's our turn. Fuck's sake, give us a go.
Yeah, you know.
We owe Manchester United 8-2, don't we? So surely we've got to get that this season.
Yeah. Look,
we owe them.
Yeah. That's realistic this season so far.
Yeah, it's realistic now, definitely.
Yeah.
It needs to happen, definitely. We owe him that.
Now is the time to do it. You know,
yeah.
Ole at the wheel, Maguire and the rest, and now is the time to like get him.
Especially Maguire. Fucking useless. How was he 80 million? I don't know. I bet Leicester were laughing all the way to the bank.
It's the England performance.
Oh, English tax.
Yeah, it's English tax and English performances in the World Cup. That's what he was good. Let's not knock him. He was good in the World Cup. So
I don't know. I remember watching.
He was good. He was good. He had a lot of
what? That last World Cup is the last time I watched England play a game in the last World Cup, and it was shit for me because every time England scored, it always was one of the twats down the road who scored, so I couldn't celebrate. I couldn't bring myself to celebrate. I was in a pub. Everyone, I was in a bar with my mate, and the bar was packed out. There was beers flying everywhere, and I'm just stood there looking like a right tit because I just couldn't celebrate. I can't bring myself to do it.
I know what you mean, right? I did celebrate because, especially every time England played, I was in like a bar, pub, or whatever, and the atmosphere gets to you. You do have to forget, who's pulling on the shirt, and it's like, to be fair, I don't see it like that. I see it like, in a way, I'm sort of a little bit happy that I can actually, because look, I'm not going to lie to you. There's players in other clubs that I do rate. Okay, they don't play for Arsenal, but I do rate them as players. And so when they pull on the England shirt, it gives me the opportunity to actually like support that player and actually like be able to appreciate their talent. So like Marcus Rashford, for instance, I think he's a good player. And so puts on an England shirt, I can really he scores a goal, I can celebrate it. It's good. I like him as a footballer, I like him as a person. So
he's doing some really good work at the minute, and I commend him for that. I think it's brilliant what he's doing, and there's many others out there who's doing exactly the same. As you can see, I am an F1 fan, as well as an Arsenal fan. All right, I've got a Red Bull top on, but the things that Lewis Hamilton is doing at the minute, it's really commendable what he's doing, and I think it's great. I really do, and people should get behind stuff like this. Definitely, 100%. And
definitely, like Raheem Sterling. I'm a fan of me and him.
But I can celebrate him if he scores for England. He's a City fan, so it doesn't bother me that. Same as Rashford when he scores. He's a Man U fan. He plays for Man U. I can celebrate that because Man U were a small club. So, but I just can't. I can't celebrate scum. I just can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it. I celebrate Vardy when he scores. It's Leicester. It's up north. It's not Midlands, not north. It's north to you because you're Watford, so you're at that byline, aren't you? South. Anything else is up north.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you're at that point. You're on the edge.
But can we talk? While we talk about England, Nketiah, he equaled or broke the.
He broke it, didn't he? In his last under 21s, he broke the record. Yeah,
and he was held by Alan Shearer and Francis Jeffers before.
Alan Shearer and Jeffers. How long ago was that?
I mean, I know you think.
I know Shearer was a different class when he was about during his time in football. He was unreal, and the fact that he went to Newcastle instead of a big club, that was just weird to me. But then again,
but I kind of admire it though. That's his hometown club. He's like, how many players go to the club that they support?
True.
Not many. To go where the money is, where the glory is. So you have to admire it to an extent. And to be fair to Newcastle, they were that team that could sort of go either way. In terms of like, he probably felt like if he went there, then they'll get more. There'll be more big signings after, and then he can sort of take them to that next level.
Yeah, you're probably right there actually. And by all means, Nketiah breaking them records, that's one good thing, And let's hope he holds on to them records as long as Shearer and Jeffers.
Yeah, it's because I think
Jeffers was an Arsenal player. Oh,
I know. Listen, I know, but let's not forget. Let's remember Francis Jeffers before he joined Arsenal. He did look like he was going to be like a really good striker.
He was amazing at Everton, really, really, really good. And then he come to Arsenal. He was fucking shit.
Some players can't handle the pressure. They can't.
Trev's watching, so I best watch my language. Sorry, Trev, mate. I'll calm the language down, mate, just for you.
Yeah, but it goes to show, because the fact that Nketiah has been playing for the under-21s long enough to break that record, it's not. So at England, we get a bit excited when we've got like a new young striker, and they tend to go get called up to the first team pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So he's done his time there, and I imagine he'll be there for a little while longer. To be fair, because we're not short of strikers for England that in the first team. So well done for him, and yeah, hopefully that just leads to the good things for Arsenal.
Yeah, definitely, and fingers crossed. I'm hoping he does well. You know, that's what it is. Anyway, enough about internationals because it's boring. It is. I think we best mention. I think there's a new book been released. Have you got it?
Really?
Have you not got it?
I haven't got it yet.
Are you getting it?
Yeah, I'm getting it.
You getting it?
Yeah, I'm 100% getting
it.
What?
I'm not.
Why?
I don't care. It's 10 years over. I might get it. I might give it a read, or I might get it on like a audio book or something. And
yeah. That's probably how I'm going to get to it.
Yeah.
I've got a credit right here, so I'm Audible. So I think I'll use that.
Get it done, mate. Get it done. Yeah, I'll probably get it off there and maybe listen to it. But I don't know. I'm just a bit like, do I want to hear it? Do I not? I'm in that sort of like, don't know. Because there was a recent interview with him recently. I know I said I didn't want to mention his name, but he did have a recent
Say
interview.
Say his name.
Twat. Ozil. Yeah. Again, Trev, I apologise for swearing, but I think he deserves it. But yeah, there was a recent interview about him about how he should be played and this, that, and the other. I just think maybe you should really keep out of it.
No, I mean, look.
Either that, or he's trying to justify justify his actions with Ozil. That's the only issue I got out of it.
Look, you have to remember he was with us for a long, long time. Yeah,
22 years.
Yeah, so he's not going to be oblivious to what's going on, and he's not going to not care about what's going on at the club with players that he brought in. Okay, and so he was a player that obviously that he wanted, and he had a vision at the time when he bought him, and then now he's seeing what's transpiring, and so he's gonna feel a way about it, and he's gonna have something to say about it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And when he does talk, people do listen. Yeah, we've always, even though things went wrong for him, towards, and he stayed too long. That's pretty much what it was. It's just too long in the same job, but everyone still values what he has to say. He's still a still very intelligent man, and football intelligent as well. And his opinion on the game and players and whatnot is still valued. So I don't mind hearing what he has to say. I disagree with him, where he's sort of like, we have to find a way to make it work for him, Ozil, here, because I just think he's done at the club. He says he needs a change. He needs to be around new people, a new institution. And for his sake, hopefully getting the same money, because everyone knows that's the only reason why he's still here. No player would endure what he's enduring if it wasn't for the fact that he's been very well compensated for sitting on his ass and doing nothing. Well
Compensated. He just had a nice little bonus, didn't he?
Like, he has to be, like, in terms of like when he was playing, and he was very average. We wanted him to do well for so long. When he did one little good thing, we were like, oh my god, like that's always like, hopefully we get to see that on a consistent basis, and we didn't. And then there was obviously off the pitch issues, and we're like, what is going on? Like, why different managers, same thing? Like, we don't know all the ins and outs. Little things come out.
I don't think we ever will. Not until somebody else releases a book.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I don't think we're going to find out the full ins and outs of what's going on. I just think with the timing of his interview about Ozil, I just think that's, with everything that's going on social media and, the things, the rumours going around about the club and whatever else is going on. I'm not going to say him because there's that many. There's so many different, who knows what's true. But I just think it's adding fuel to that fire. And I just think you're at the wrong time to do that. I think
that's not necessarily him, though. That's that a journalist asks him a question, he answers it, and then that particular journalist, or the station that he works for, chose to put that section of the interview out at that time.
But you could also argue the fact that is with him being a current Arsenal player, you could always say, look, I've got I'm not going to answer that question. He's still a current Arsenal player. There's ways and means around it.
Why? He's not a manager at another club or anything. He's
with
just
the
a
FA,
guy.
isn't he?
Is he?
Is he with the FA? I don't know if he took that job.
He's not at another club. So he's just a guy that they're asking questions to. And I know he does punditry in France. So he's used to just speaking his mind on the game and the sport and players. So, if you ask Ian Wright what's his opinion, he's not going to be like, oh, I'm not going to talk about Arsenal players. Of course he is.
Yeah, well, he's very heavily critical on players when it needs to be. So he is really good at that, Ian Wright. So yeah, you got to respect him for that, because when he needs to be critical, he'll be critical. When he needs to give him praise, he'll give him praise.
I think we have to give Wenger the same freedom of speech. Just he used to manage Arsenal. He no longer does. He's not connected to the club. If somebody wants to ask him a question about a player, I think I've got no problem with him answering it. But again, I just think like the BBC, they know what they're doing. They put out that little segment.
Of course, yeah, that's what I mean. I just think it's adding fuel to the fire, and I think that's the issue. And obviously, things get taken out of context with media so much, and I think that's one of the main issues I have with stuff like that. It might be, like I say, it could be taken way out of context for me. I could be taken out of context. So, it's how it's said and how it's done, and it's how everybody reads it and how everybody watches it. Everyone thinks different. Obviously, like I say, you saw something different to what I saw. So
no, I mean, I'm gonna like I said, I can't wait to
give it a read.
The book. Yeah, and I'm hoping that he doesn't hold it. He doesn't hold back. He lets it all out because.
Well, apparently, I'm going to say one thing. I did see online just before we came on that he hasn't mentioned Jose Mourinho in his book. There's no mention of him.
Probably doesn't want to give him that, that
ego.
that shine. Yeah,
that ego boost. That
you're not even worth me mentioning. So, Wenger seems like that type of person.
Yeah. So I'm not going to be interested in you.
Yeah, but no, I think it should be. I mean, people have been waiting for this book for a long time.
True.
All the things that have happened, and the events and stuff, and he's always been very close. He's very, he doesn't really say about what he really felt about players and whatnot. He would always protect them, in interviews after the matches and whatnot. So there's been a lot that's been on his mind that if he's choose to put that out in his book, people will be very interested to read.
The one thing if I was actually going to go out and buy it, the one thing, it'd be probably halfway through the book, I'd read the last half. The first 10 years, I'd like to read a bit of how he started and how he got things going, because I have read other people's books, as in Paul Merson and Tony Adams. I've read theirs, and so I know sort of what he did when he first started. Mm-hmm. But it's that last 10 years, that the point of the downhill stretch. That's what I'm interested in. If I was going to, if I'm really into it, that's the ones I want to read. That downhill point. What was starting to go wrong and why,
and how he felt about it. Because as much as when we do look back at the Wenger out, it's difficult. It was a difficult time because I admired the man, and it was frustrating, and it's frustrating for everyone for him that he stayed in the job for so long without actually, like, even though his own level had dropped off so much, and we had to watch when Klopp was available, and we're sort of like, leave now, and he stayed, and then Pep Guardiola's available, and he stayed.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh my God, these are so frustrating. And the results, and we were getting battered by teams in the Champions League. Now we was thankful. We're thankful. I'm not thankful. We wish we were in the Champions League to get battered, But all of those things, it was hard because I was like, come on, you need to do the right thing here and step away and stop ruining your legacy. And so how did he feel about it at that time with the banners and all of that? It must have hurt. He's been at this club for so long. They're in his heart. And these same fans that cheered you and, sang your name are now like, wanting to kick you out, and you don't feel ready to go. So the insight to his mindset.
I'd like to know what he really thinks of AFTV as well. That's one thing I'd like to. Who started all that shit. All them people that were kicking off. I'd love to see him say something about that.
I don't. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he's never watched the clip.
Oh, I bet he has. I bet someone's.
He probably has, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he had never watched the clip. If he
Never
heard
even
about
heard-
it, he
Yeah.
might have heard
Oh,
about
no,
it. and said, "Look,"
AFTV. Yeah, what's it about again?
yeah, he might have heard about it and said, look, every club has got a fan TV. Arsenal's seems to be the biggest. Yeah. And we're like, okay,
Yeah.
that might get back to him, you know. And then, but then they were like, during that time where things were going wrong, you know, he might, if he had heard a snippet, I would imagine that he made sure that he never actually was in a position to watch anything again.
Someone must have shown him one of them kicking off. I don't know which
But
one.
I can imagine him telling him to
I
piss
can't
off.
remember names. I only know one name, and that's the guy who runs it. Like, so that's it. And we've had one AFTV guy on here as well, and that's Lee. So they're the only two really that I know of properly. So other than that, it's like someone must have shown him one of them kicking off the hell.
Maybe once, just once. But after that, I don't think. You see, do you remember when? Did you watch it? The All or Nothing, the Tottenham one.
No, not interested.
So I gave it a watch, and
It's not. It's not all or nothing. It's just nothing.
It's just nothing. Yeah, because yeah,
Just like their trophy cabinet.
yeah. But there's a bit there where Mourinho's watching Sky Sports News, and there's some pundits on there saying that, you know, he's always at Talk Sport, something like that. And he's like, they were like, oh, he's washed up, he's finished, he's done, he's not a top level manager anymore. And then he got up, he said, F off, and switched the TV off, right? And that's Mourinho, and you know he's well into the press, and he loves the sound of his own voice. Yeah, he's outspoken.
Was never outspoken, was
yeah,
he?
So you can imagine that if something like he caught wind of something like that, he'd definitely not interested in hearing it. So yeah, I don't think AFTV will be mentioned in the book, to be fair.
Well, in all fairness, Sky Sports pundits are all idiots. There's only a couple like
they're getting better. They're getting better. I like Mackay Richards.
Oh yeah, Micah Richards. Yeah, Mackay Richards. Sorry, yeah, I like him. He's one of the better ones. Micah.
Yeah,
I do like him. But other than that, if anyone follows Arse Brothers and who follows Max on Arse Brothers, they'll know exactly what he thinks of Tim Sherwood. He's been banned off Twitter for calling him so awful. You know, basically calling him a cunt quite a lot on Twitter. So he's banned off Twitter, so, you know, everybody who knows Arse Bros will know exactly what he gets off there. But other than that, you know, I just feel like it's very biased. I find on Sky Sports a lot of the time, and especially when you've got Carragher and Redknapp. Yes.
Those, I mean, especially, I think Neville is. I think Neville is good television, right?
Yeah,
because he is so opinionated. You know, he doesn't pull any punches. He's just like, if he thinks something is crap, then he just says it's crap, and he's able to articulate himself as to why it's crap and whatnot. And then I think he's
got better over the years. Gary Neville, you know, he has got better over the years. He's not as biased towards people as he used to be. He's got to that point now where he's on a level playing field, and he doesn't give a crap about what he says either.
Yeah, and he puts his emotion into his punditry. You know, you can tell like things in football genuinely bother him. Whether it's refereeing, whether it's the way a club is run or whatnot. When he talks passionately about it, even if it's not Manchester.
Yeah,
you know, it's just even if you talk about Arsenal, you know, like he's got a strong opinion about how Arsenal is run and where we are now compared to where we should have been. You know. Same with Manchester, you know, we were the top two clubs in the Premier League for a long time, and then now look, you know, and that's pretty much down to the way the clubs are run. Yeah. So I always appreciate his take on that and whatnot. And I think and because he's done that, I think a lot of the other pundits sort of try to sort of copy that in terms of, being so outspoken about, you know, things, and it doesn't quite come off a lot of the time.
No, I agree. And I think on that note, I think we'll end it there because this is why we call it the Not So Preview Show anymore, because it goes on to the preview and then he just buggers off.
Yeah, good.
It's always good for that. I do
just call it the Digress Show.
Yeah, exactly. Well, people who joined us in the chats, thank you very much. If you would like to know, we'll probably be back at some point in the next week or so. I can't remember what game we've got next after Man City, to be honest.
No, okay. Let me find out. I've got.
we don't tend to do a lot on here. We just sort of come on and say what we need to say, and
We
that's
just wing
about
it.
Yeah, it's all
We
about
just-
winging it.
We just wing it.
I don't even know when we're next playing after Saturday.
Hold on, I'll tell you. So we have got. We're at home to Leicester on Sunday. Yeah, it's a box office match. We didn't talk about that.
Fuck's sake!
Yeah.
There's a reason why I didn't talk about that, and I remember why. Because it's a box office match, and I refuse to pay 15.
I'm not
quid.
paying. I'm not paying 15 quid.
And we got lucky because I think we've only got the one box office match. There's a lot of other teams out there, like I can't remember who it is, but there's a few of the lower end league, lower teams in the league that have got 2, maybe 3.
West Brom have got 2 back-to-back. 2 box office matches back-to-back.
I mean, they're expecting their fans to pay 30 quid to watch that.
It's bad enough living in the Midlands, you know, and now they've got to pay 30 quid for 2 matches.
For 2 matches, which is wrong, in all fairness. If you're going to do it, people pay for Sky Sports, they pay for BT Sport, and it's enough. You're making enough.
This is the thing, like, you know, because they're going to say, oh, you know, we need it because we're not getting the match revenue and whatnot. But it's like, you not really need to, like, first of all, like maybe reduce some of these players' wages because they don't need to get paid 150 grand a week, you know?
Well,
that's, you know, they're not going to starve, you know, if we start pulling that back a bit and letting the fans save a bit of money, you know?
Well, in all fairness as well, the clubs, you know, the teams, they had lost the TV rights, so the TV deals out of all this, you know, and they get quite a hefty paycheck from getting these TV deals.
Yeah,
and then,
they do.
And then adding, you know, at this time that we're in now,
where so much people are lost their jobs.
You know what I mean? People are getting made redundant. They're being put on, I don't know if furlough's still kicking about. I ain't got a clue. You know, and people, like you just said, people losing their jobs. 15 quid to watch a game is a lot of money. You know, I very rarely, I like watching boxing, but I think to myself, you know, I mean, 20 quid to watch boxing. You better have a good bloody catalogue of people boxing rather than just the main event.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If I'm ever going to pay for a box office, I'm not just paying for the main event, I'm paying for the whole card. The whole card has to be good. But that is, we're talking about from 6 o'clock until, you know, 12 p.m., you know, so it's like 6 hours.
Well, this is what I mean.
So this is just a 90-minute
you've got the undercards, like I was saying. Yeah, you got the undercards, which, like you say, it starts at 5, 6 o'clock at night, and it goes on till whenever it finishes. Usually, the main event's on at 10 if it's in the UK. So you're looking at about 11 o'clock-ish, aren't you? So you're getting a good 5 hours out of that, 5, 6 hours.
Yeah, and I think
the match you're getting an hour and a half.
Hour and a half, and some shit punditry, but look, it's I think people pay to go to matches, not just to watch the matches. It's obviously a social event for a lot of people as well. You know, you go, you have some drinks, you know, you get to sing, you know, you meet up with people and whatnot. So they don't mind paying the match day fee. But, you know, watching it at home and having to pay, you know, no, like you said, we already pay Sky and BT Sport and Amazon Prime and the TV license for the BBC.
For crap.
Yeah, it's like, come on, give us a break. You take the hit. Why, you know, you take the hit for once. So,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, let the fans have a break. It's not as if people are going. So yeah, I agree. You take the hit. TV companies, you take the fucking hit.
Yeah,
you're a robbing bastard.
Do us a favor, man.
Yeah, exactly. Do us a favor. It's not like you say. Unbelievable. And another thing as well, if you're going to pay for box office, you better, you know, there's that other one as well where you, instead of you want the full night of porn rather than just 5 minutes, which you're probably only going to get anyway. So, and even that's only $5.99 or so.
I think I mean, you would know. You would know.
But me, you know, I've been there. I ain't done it for long. It's not been for a long time. Bear in mind, I've been married for a few years now, so I don't need it.
The marriage,
and the internet's about now, so you know it's free on there. But there was a time, you know, I mean, I'm getting old now. I'm nearly 40, so there was a time, you know, when you're a youngster and that. Your mum and dad's Sky, just press the red button.
But look, if
the gas, that's what I used to look for.
All right, too much
I'm
information.
sorry. I'm sorry. 10-minute preview.
Oh yeah, I remember that 10-minute preview.
Yeah. Straight after match of the day, it used to be.
But look, what back to the football. What I would have done if I was a club, I'm Arsenal, and was like, right, look, we want to get some sort of revenue. Set up like an app. Set up an app, or a channel or something where it's like, okay, I could subscribe to that channel. Okay, you're gonna give me content, not just on the match itself, but we're gonna get some match previews, some player interviews, all of that, before the match. That's all included. Then we get the match as well.
Yeah.
Because I think they do it in America. I think there's like NBA teams and whatnot that you can subscribe to that team, and then you get all of that content, including the game itself.
Yeah, I think. Well, the thing is, you could do that, couldn't you?
That would be better. And you pay like $6.99 a month or something.
Well, I've got the Arsenal app. Why you could surely do something through there.
Just added the extra cost onto that.
Yeah,
give us a bit more content. Do you know what I mean?
Even if you just pay a subscription fee, what do you pay for Amazon Prime? About $7.99 a month.
Yeah.
You work it out. That's 4 or 5 games you can get out of that one thing. So yeah, there's ways and means around it, and I'm sure people would pay. I'd pay $7.99 a month because you're not taking that big 15 quid hit, and then if you got another box office game, that's another 15 quid hit. So it ramps up to 30 quid. But there is ways and means around it. People do subscriptions. It's there for the taking, surely.
Yeah, that's what I would have done. But
the subscriptions and the other things we're talking about as well. Right, I'll get off that.
So I'm not a fan of that, but
and I agree with her. Membership. It's Liz, I think, or it's LZ. I apologise if I got that wrong. Members should get it included. Yeah, pretty much what we're talking about. Yeah, so yeah, definitely, I agree.
I forgot about the membership fee as well that we pay also. I think we made the money.
Yeah, well, obviously we are. I don't know who's got us down as making money, but yeah, we obviously are made of money. Right. On that note, I think we'll definitely end it there because I haven't even had my tea yet. I know. I was rushing to get on here. I don't know why we were late.
Don't know why. Yeah, exactly.
So we apologise for being late anyway, because we was meant to start a little bit earlier, but we wasn't meant to have 2 other people on here. Unfortunately, like I said at the start, Manny couldn't join us for unknown reasons, and Jerome couldn't join us because one of his children has stole his keyboard and mouse, so he couldn't even get onto his computer even if he tried.
Yeah.
If you can hear that in the background, that's my wife laughing. But she's sat over there listening in. So, thanks for joining me, Corey, anyway, mate.
No worries, man.
Take a little bit of time out of your Friday night. I appreciate it.
No worries, man.
I don't know why I do it on a Friday. I just do.
Because
we've got nothing else to do. Nothing else to do. So, yeah, we'll probably be back again on Friday night.
Yeah, probably.
So, yeah, we'll be ready for the Arsenal-Leicester game on Friday. So, please join us then if you've enjoyed tonight. I did pop the banners up earlier. Hit the subscribe button if you do enjoy Arse Brothers and enjoy the preview show. And if you really, really enjoy us, click the bell. And I did put this up earlier. I forgot about it. Toby, Max, his brother, who is also a Arse brother. I think I mentioned I was going to put that up. So, Toby, you're a cunt.